Chapter 31. The loop starts to bleed. The first sign wasn't an explosion. It was silence. Across the island, the familiar hum of the loop faltered. Weapons jammed for half a second. The storm hesitated mid-roll. Players blinked, confused, then everything resumed. But the mole felt it. Deep underground, he pressed his claw to the stone as the Molidar stirred uneasily. The loop is losing cohesion. The mole frowned. That's new. Normally the loop was flawless, reset after reset, clean and controlled. But now cracks were forming, not physical ones. Memory cracks. Players remembered things they shouldn't. A sniper hesitated, whispering, "Didn't I win this match already?" A squad swore they'd fought in this exact spot yesterday, and died the same way. The Hollow King's words echoed in the mole's mind. You guard a lie. Above ground, Aura stood at the edge of a rift scar, watching the sky shimmer strangely. The island's glitching, she said over comms, but not like before. The mole emerged from the ground beside her. No, he said quietly, this time it's remembering. Chapter 32. Echoes of the First Island. The tremors returned, but differently now. Not violent. Guiding. Ancient tunnels reopened beneath the island, older than any port. Their walls bore symbols neither rift nor chrome, markings from before the loop existed. The Molidar whispered with reverence. The First Island calls. The mole followed the pull, descending deeper than ever before, past the Hollow King's sealed domain. He reached a cavern untouched by resets. At its center floated a massive holographic projection, faint, broken, but unmistakable. The original island layout. No storm. No loop. No resets. Just land. Just life. The mole stared. So this is what it used to be. A voice echoed behind him, ancient, fractured. And what it could be again. The Hollow King emerged from the shadows, armor cracked, crown fractured, but still powerful. You feel it now, the Hollow King said. The loop was never meant to last. The mole turned slowly. Then why protect it at all? The Hollow King stepped closer. Because if it breaks too fast, everything breaks with it. The Molidar rumbled uneasily. For the first time, the mole and the Hollow King stood on the same side of a truth. Chapter 33. The choice no warden wants. The island began to split, not physically but functionally. Some areas reset normally. Others stayed damaged. Destroyed poise didn't fully return. Players started noticing. This place was wrecked last match. Why is that crater still here? Why do I remember falling there? Above the island, something new formed. A massive rift lattice, stretching across the sky like a web. Saren returned through a collapsing portal, barely standing. It's happening, she said urgently. The loop core is destabilizing. The zero systems can't hold it anymore. The mole clenched his claws. So what's the fix? Saren looked at him grimly. There isn't one, only a choice. She projected 2 simulations into the air. One showed the loop forcibly stabilized, resets restored, memories erased, island safe but trapped forever. The other showed the loop breaking naturally, the island becoming real again, but unstable, dangerous, unpredictable. The Molidar spoke softly. Both paths require sacrifice. Aura looked at the mole. What happens to you? Saren swallowed. If the loop is stabilized, the Molidar must be sealed. You'd lose your power. And if it breaks, Saren met his eyes. You become its anchor permanently. The mole stared at the island below. Respawning players, endless battles, endless resets. Figures. Chapter 34. When the Guardian stands alone. The sky darkened, not with storm clouds but with code unraveling. The rift lattice cracked, sending waves of light across the island. Players were forcibly pulled into the sky, frozen mid-drop. The loop core, a massive glowing structure above the island, began to collapse. The Hollow King stepped beside the mole. This is where wardens are tested, he said, not by strength, but by what they're willing to lose. The mole took a deep breath. I didn't dig all this way to walk away. He stepped forward, directly beneath the loop core. The Molidar surged, not violently but in harmony. You accept the burden. The mole nodded. Yeah, someone has to keep the island alive while it learns to breathe. He slammed his claws into the ground. Molten orange energy erupted upward, forming a massive pillar that pierced the sky, connecting island, Molidar, and loop core. The pain was immediate. Every reset, every match, every death. He felt it all. Aura screamed his name as the light engulfed him. The Hollow King bowed his head. A true warden, he whispered. Chapter 35, a new kind of match epilogue. When the light faded, the island remained. The loop still existed, but weaker, softer. Players still respawned, but faint memories lingered. Poise changed slowly, not instantly. The storm adapted. The island was no longer trapped. Deep underground, the mole stood fused to the Molidar's core, not imprisoned but bound. Watching, guiding, balancing. Saren looked down from a cliff as the battle bus flew again. He did it, she said quietly. Aura clenched her fists. Is he gone? Bushranger shook his head, smiling. No, he's everywhere now. Far below, the mole opened his eyes. The Molidar spoke gently. The island lives. The mole smiled, settling into the stone. Good, let's see what it becomes. Above him, a new match began. And beneath it all, a legend endured. Season 3, The Shattered Surface. Chapter 36, When the Island Wakes Up. The island didn't reset. That was the first problem. When the battle bus flew again, something felt wrong. The air was heavier. The sky didn't shimmer the way it used to. The storm rolled in slower, like it was thinking instead of following code. Players dropped as usual. But the ground remembered. Old craters remained. Half-rebuilt poise stood crooked, scarred by previous matches. Some structures healed naturally, others didn't heal at all. The island was no longer looping perfectly. Deep beneath the surface, the mole felt it instantly. The Molidar pulsed steady, strained. The surface is awakening. The mole opened his eyes in the stone chamber where he was bound. Cracks of molten orange light ran across the walls like veins. Yeah, he murmured, I feel it too. The island wasn't just surviving anymore. It was adapting. Chapter 37, Surface Fractures. Reports spread fast. Players spoke of terrain shifting mid-match. Rocks rising where none existed. Tunnels opening unexpectedly. Entire squads vanishing into sinkholes that weren't there seconds before. Aura stood on a cliff, overlooking what used to be a clean poi. Now it was split, half pristine, half ancient stone pushed upward from below. This isn't rift damage, she said quietly. Bushranger knelt, pressing a hand to the earth. The island's pushing back, he whispered, like it's tired of being told what to be. A tremor rippled outward. Not violent. Intentional. From underground, the mole surfaced for the first time since the loop stabilization. His armor looked different, etched with glowing runes that pulsed in rhythm with the land. Aura turned sharply. Mole. He nodded once. Surface instability phase, he said. Season 3 just started. Chapter 38, The Things That Didn't Reset. Night fell differently now. Shadows lingered longer than they should. Sounds echoed too far. Some areas felt older than the rest of the map. Players began encountering things that weren't in any patch notes. Creatures of stone and root that watched but didn't attack. Statues that moved when no one looked. Whispers near the ground during storm phases. The Molidar spoke cautiously. The island is CRETNGDFNSES. The mole crouched near a newly formed chasm. Against what? The ground answered before the Molidar could. A low, distant crack echoed beneath the island, deep, hollow, and massive. The same rhythm he had felt before. The Hollow King was not alone anymore. Chapter 39, The Fracture Line. A massive fault line tore across the island, visible from the sky. Not a rift, not a storm scar. A fracture. From it rose towering formations of obsidian-like stone, etched with symbols that glowed faintly gold, older than the Maladar. Saren reappeared through a strained portal, her expression grim. "You anchored the loop," she said, "but you exposed something deeper." The mole crossed his arms. "Let me guess, Ancient Angry wants the island." Saren nodded. "The substratum," she said. "The layer beneath even the first island. It was never meant to wake up." The ground shuddered violently. A voice echoed, not loud but everywhere. "Warden." The mole stiffened. "That's not the Hollow King." Saren shook her head. "No, this one doesn't want control." The voice spoke again, deeper this time. "Return the island to stone." Chapter 40, Season of Consequences. The sky fractured with golden lightning. Storm circles became irregular. Matches ended unpredictably. Some players didn't respawn immediately, delayed by seconds that felt like minutes. The island was choosing outcomes. The mole stood at the center of the fracture line, as the Maladar surged painfully within him. "This force can break US." The mole clenched his claws, eyes glowing. "Then we don't let it." From the depths below, something massive shifted, far larger than the Hollow King ever was. Stone plates grinding. Ancient structures unfolding. A presence that didn't care about the loot or players. Only permanence. Or a step beside the mole, weapon ready. "So what's the plan, Warden?" The mole stared into the glowing fracture. "We stopped the island from becoming a prison again." The ground cracked whiter. A colossal silhouette began to rise. Season 3 had begun. And this time, the surface was the battlefield. Chapter 41, The Thing Beneath Stone. The island screamed. Not in sound, but in pressure. Every player felt it. Weapons vibrated. Builds shuddered. The storm stalled mid-rotation like it was afraid to move. From the fracture line, stone peeled away in massive slabs, revealing something that wasn't earth, but architecture. Ancient. Intentional. A colossal hand rose from beneath the island, each finger made of layered bedrock and glowing glyphs. It didn't grab or strike. It claimed. The Maladar recoiled inside the mole. "The substratum has AWAKNED." Aura staggered as the ground lifted her several feet into the air. "Mole, that's not a boss." The mole clenched his claws. "No, that's a foundation." The hand planted itself into the surface, and the island shifted around it. Chapter 42, When Gravity Forgets. The moment the substratum touched the surface, the rules bent. Entire sections of the island tilted unnaturally, floating for seconds before slamming back down. Rivers flowed upward. Structures folded into themselves like they were being remembered incorrectly. Players dropped from the battle bus and didn't fall straight down. They spiraled. Aura fired a grappler, but the hook bent midair and latched onto nothing. Bushranger felt roots rip themselves from the soil. The ground doesn't know which way is down anymore. The mole slammed both claws into the earth. Molten orange energy surged outward, forcing the terrain to obey, if only briefly. The substratum's voice rolled through the stone. This world was not meant to move. It was meant to last. The Maladar whispered urgently. "It seeks absolute stability." The mole growled. "Stability without life is just a tomb." Chapter 43, The City That Shouldn't Exist. The next emergence wasn't violent. It was quiet. In the center of the fracture line, stone parted smoothly, revealing a massive underground city, perfectly preserved, untouched by resets. Buildings carved from single pieces of rock, roads etched with glowing veins, statues of beings that looked half island, half warden. Saren arrived, eyes wide. This is impossible. No records of this civilization exist. The Maladar spoke in awe. The first ARCHITCTS. The Hollow King emerged from the shadows, visibly shaken. They built the island before storms, before loops, before players. The city began to rise, slowly lifting itself toward the surface. Aura whispered, "If that reaches the sky." The mole finished the thought. The island becomes permanent. No resets. No matches. No second chances. The substratum's voice echoed from the city's core. Return, remain, end the cycle. Chapter 44, The Substratum Speaks. The mole descended alone into the city. The stone responded to his presence, pathways forming beneath his feet. He reached the central chamber, an immense core of layered rock and golden energy. There the substratum revealed itself. Not a creature, a will, a massive geometric form, constantly reshaping, like the island trying to remember its original shape. Warden, it spoke calmly. You prolong a broken system. The mole stood his ground. People live here. They repeat, THEY reset, they do not grow. The Maladar trembled. It is not wrong. The mole snapped, don't start. The substratum continued. I can free them. No death without consequence. No memory erased. The mole hesitated. A world without resets. Without respawns. Without endless war. The substratum sensed doubt. Join ME. Silent stretch. Then the mole shook his head. You're not freeing them, you're freezing them. The substratum's light dimmed. Then you are an obstacle. The city shook violently. Chapter 45, The Island Draws a Line. The city accelerated upward. On the surface, players watched as massive stone towers broke through the ground, forming a skyline that hadn't existed moments before. The island was being rewritten. The mole burst from underground, molten energy flaring as he landed at the fracture line. Aura ran to him. What did it say? He exhaled slowly. It wants to end Fortnite. The Maladar roared inside him. Then it falls. The Hollow King stepped forward, raising his fractured crown. For the first time, he said, we fight for chaos. Saren activated her gauntlet, rift snapping open. Bushranger planted his roots deep. The ground trembled as the substratum's full form began to rise, an island-sized presence of stone and ancient will. The mole cracked his claws, eyes blazing. Season 3, he said, just got real. The sky fractured with golden light. And somewhere deep below, something else stirred. Something that had been buried with the substratum.